Hi, guys. Welcome back to Authentic Talks. My name is Shanta generally, and I am your host. I'm excited that you guys are tuning in today because we are talking about happiness. Today's guest is a mindset coach. She's an author and a former presidential candidate. On this episode, we're going to have a good time, you guys, with talking about happiness. And I know that there has been a lot of recent things happening here in the United States, and we've had so much going on over the past couple of weeks that it is befitting that we talk about happiness. Because in a world where hatred can erupt into violence, like the recent shooting, it's easy to feel powerless, afraid, overwhelmed by anger, and even a sense of stress and anxiety setting in. But what if, even then, happiness is still possible? In today's episode, Eunice reminds us that happiness isn't about the absence of suffering, but that it is more about the courage to remain hopeful and true to our authenticity, even in the darkest moments. Because where we focus our energy on fear, division, or choosing connection and purpose, there lies our power to heal, grow, and find joy again. You guys, I'm excited to have Eunice come on today and talk about this mindset because we do realize that mindset is everything. Before we dive in with today's episode, I do want to take a moment, you guys, to definitely welcome you to the show and to extend that open invitation for you to come back again and again. And if you have not had an opportunity to subscribe to the show, please hit that subscribe button. That way you will not miss an episode once I upload a show. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and dive on in with introducing our guest of the hour. Today's conversation is one you don't want to miss. My guest, Eunice, is a multi-jurisdictional solicitor, mindset coach, author, and, as I mentioned, a former presidential candidate who brings a powerful perspective on resilience, authenticity, and what it really means to live in alignment. Her new book, Happiness is Free, but Not Effortless, challenges the idea that happiness is out of reach and instead shows us it begins within. In this episode, Eunice opens up about her journey from growing up in the ghetto in Nigeria to leading in global boardrooms, the power of showing up authentically, even in spaces that demand conformity, and why ego, not conflict, is often our biggest enemy. This is a story of reinvention, courage, and choosing joy no matter what life brings. Let's dive on in. Please welcome Eunice Atuejide to Authentic Talks 2.0. Authentic Talks is all about authentic conversations. This show is all about growth, love, respect, success, mind, body, and spirit. If you're looking to grow and become your authentic self, then this is the podcast for you. And I am your host, Shanta. Welcome to the show. Hi, Eunice. Welcome to the show. I'm super excited to have you here. I've been waiting a while to talk with you, and I'm excited for our listeners to learn all about you and to learn about your new book that you have out as well. Before we dive in with our show, can I have you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yes, thank you so much, Shante. My name is Eunice Atuejide. I'm a multi-jurisdictional solicitor, so I practice law in Nigeria and in the UK. I'm a coach. I do a lot of mindset, transformational laser coaching. I'm an author, as you rightly mentioned, as we started. My latest book, Happiness is Free, was released in June. I mostly coach high achievers and I help them to figure out the next steps, get clarity, restore balance in their lives, and reconnect with their true purpose so they can be happy and do everything they want to do with their lives from a place of alignment.
I love that. And we definitely need that right now because we have a lot that's been going on where people are feeling like happiness is supposed to not be effortless, It's where it's supposed to be like where it just comes automatically. So I absolutely love the title of your book. Happiness
Mhm.
is free, but
Free.
not effortless. Can you share what inspired you to write your book and why this message feels urgent right now?
Amazing. Thank you so much for that opportunity. I come from a background of serious lack. You wake up and you don't know where you're going to get the next food. You don't know if you're going to be able to sleep tonight because if it rains, there's water all over and you can't find a dry area to put your head. And you have to walk to school barefoot and the sun is going to mess up your foot. There was that true, complete feeling of hope, joy. The future is going to be better. Tomorrow is coming and tomorrow is going to be better than today. And I've always had that, even as I faced challenges all through my life. And rest assured, there were many traumas upon traumas and all that. I never lost hope. I always knew that tomorrow would be better. I always had that confidence that everything I'm doing today is going to help tomorrow be better. And then coming out to this Western world, where to my mind, everything works, everything is perfect. Like people have huge opportunities, and then seeing people suffering, depressed, suicidal, and all that. And I'm like trying to understand. I come into the courtroom and people are fighting over things. I would shrug, like just shrug it off, like, oh, come on, big deal. And it's costing millions to get through that litigation. And everybody's stressed up and tired and frustrated. And at the end of the day, even the people who win the case are not happy. They're not satisfied. It took too much and it didn't feel as good as they expected it to feel when they got on the other side. So I realized that too many people are living in the negative. Like they're seeing all the bad things in life, in society, in the world, and they're refusing, in my opinion, to see all the amazing things in all those same situations where they are only focusing on the negative. Right there, I am seeing, wow, like this is much better than where I'm coming from. And I would rather have this any time, any day than what I came from. So realizing all that and having been in several different rooms in my life, I said to myself, okay, it's time to take this message out and help people be less interested in the negative and more interested in the positive because you can be happy. Even in the worst situations of your life, you would always find something that is going well. And if you focus more on the things that are going well, it gets better. Help more people, bring more people to their center so they can appreciate their lives at ease while they try to go to wherever it is they desire to go.
Do you think that growing up, basically growing up in the ghetto in Nigeria, and now you're able to move with ease in like boardrooms around the world? Do you think that it's the fact that you had that experience where that felt like it was maybe the lowest point? Like I'm wondering if like here we tend to take things for granted in a way where the lack of appreciation, because I find that people who have gone through some struggles tend to be more focused on the glass being half full versus
Mhm.
half empty. And I'm starting to wonder if that has to do with the experiences of not having everything just handed to you because you're highly educated, which means that you had to do the work to get here. You had to do work
Yeah.
to get into the boardrooms and to be at your level of intellect. And I'm sure that you had a lot of natural intellect that was there that some people refer to as common sense. But on top of that, you have the education. And I'm just wondering, what is your opinion? Do you think that it is the hardship that had you to where you're, or can anyone get there?
I think anyone and everyone can get there. We all have different stories. I come from hardship, but there are other people who are very successful with this mindset of joy, who come from wealth, who come from a life of absolute abundance, and they just recognize that they are in that place and they're grateful for it. I know a lot of people in my personal growth community who were always from above average. I may be looking at them like wealthy, but they may be looking at themselves like, oh, they call them middle class. But middle class, in my perspective, especially when I think from that, my ghetto level, middle class is very wealthy. So when they tell me, oh, yeah, middle class, but they had a car, they had a house, when they were growing up, they had a huge garden, they could travel, they could go on holiday. Some of them even went to private school, but they are still middle class. To me, they come from riches, they come from wealth, but they are grateful for what they have and all the opportunities they have, and they're doing an amazing job building a life of impact from that place. So I don't think that it is too much about the starting being difficult or coming from a place of lack or hardship that informs this feeling and this sense of gratitude. I think it's just sometimes who we are at the core of us, and sometimes the way we choose to respond to the circumstances around us. Because I have siblings and they are not like me. In fact, I don't think any of them is like me. But
You're one of a kind.
yeah. So that's why I can't say that it is the hardship that programmed me or helped me to program myself or whatever it is into who I am today. I think it's that connection to, I would say, God, because I believe in God, and intuitively allowing my angels to guide me and allowing that unknown force that speaks to you to just lead you wherever it's leading you, and having faith that it's going to lead you somewhere good. I think that's mostly what it is for me, because I can't say that I relied on the information I had. I didn't have a lot of information. I didn't have exposure to the internet the way I have now, being in the West and all. I didn't have mentors. I didn't have parents who even understood their left from their right. And I didn't have teachers who were inspiring. So it was just that intuitive
Wow.
guidance that I just basically followed and trusted that it was going to lead me somewhere that I was already dreaming of. I would say I was a very imaginative kid. I could just sit down and visualize things that I would want in my life. And then I started believing that those things I started early to work. By the time I was 14, I was already earning money, taking care of mom, dad, siblings, paying my own rent and things like that. But my siblings were not interested in the kind of things I was interested in. In fact, the community, they thought I was an insane child. They used to even throw me away into the water, because the water, according to them, they had this superstitious belief, if you throw a kid in the water that was not meant to be here, they won't come back. So if they come back, then they were meant to be here. Luckily, I came back because the water could have taken me away and I would have drowned. But
Right.
fortunately, the day they did mine, the tide brought me back. I'm still on this side. Because I didn't know what they were talking about, but they threw me in the sea at the Atlantic Ocean, and somehow I came back. So
You
crazy
came
is
back because
child
you
as
have a
all.
message. You got a message to share.
Thank God.
Yes, yes. I'm grateful for that message that you have. You talk about like authenticity. That's my word,
Authenticity.
and I'm having
Yeah.
a struggle today. And the mask, and like in industries like law and medicine and finance, like wearing the mask, it's often seen as necessary for success. And I want to talk with you about like what do you believe is the true cost of that mask, both professionally and personally? Did you
Yes.
notice?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. To my mind, this mask we wear, like, I'm not even sure you could live life without a mask. Like, when I think about it, I kind of feel it's maybe necessary to some degree to have this mask. But when we wear masks that completely denies us of our identity, that completely take away who we are, because we are trying to be somebody else in order to survive or in order to be accepted, then we're making a mistake and we're exposing ourselves to all the dangers in mental health and even physical and emotional health. And that's where I come in. That's where I tell people, first of all, discover who you are. Your authentic self is welcome in whatever space you are, whether it's in your home front with your husband or boyfriend or partner or kids or family or whatever, or in the boardroom with all these people. that need to make decisions that will affect multiple lives and affect everybody's financial well-being, or you are in your professional space where you're looking after people, giving advice or whatever, who you are is exactly who they are all looking for. So when you wear the mask of somebody else, you're denying everybody the opportunity to benefit from who you really are. So I tell everyone, it is important to be yourself. Creaming and painting my face with whatever it is I feel is the color for me today. Consideration for everybody else, let me tone it down. But it doesn't change who you are. Who you are is still there, but you're trying to be considerate of the circumstances you find yourself. So wearing mask, I tell everyone, is not necessary, but when you must, limit it to what is necessary to make sure that everybody is comfortable without losing your truth. Your truth is the most important part of your authenticity. Wear it every day. It's you, it's who you are, and everything else you're doing will just be aligned. Oh, I don't want to look too weird wearing a pink hair, even though that's the color I feel like doing today. But don't worry, I'll wear my black or brown, blonde or brown hair, but I'll still feel pink inside. At least it works for me because, yes, I come into some boardrooms, some courtrooms in my colorful, as you can see, I wear a lot of colors, in my colorful dresses sometimes, and I throw the judges off, I throw the other lawyers off, I throw even my clients, oh my gosh, she's looking so, wow, like she's going to a party, but here she is to come and litigate. I tell them, guys, relax. I'm not here to take you off your center, but I want you to understand that this is how I want to handle this situation today. And this is my most authentic self. And it doesn't really disturb you. Just relax. You'll get used to it. It's unusual. I get it, but you'll get used to it. And eventually they get used to it. Even the people who oppose me the most end up being the ones who begin to copy me, who begin to add a little bit of color, even if it's just the tie, even if it's just the bow or whatever. They begin to express themselves more authentically. And I like it. I come in there, I'm the daredevil, but even as the daredevil, they look at it and like, okay, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's not like it is compulsory for us to all wear black and white. We do it because we think that is what it should be. She's coming in with her colorful dress. There's nothing against it in terms of the rules. However, it's unusual. But what's wrong with unusual? So the debate starts, and before you know it, more people are coming in with colorful dresses, feeling good, able to even help their clients better because within themselves they're happier. And that's why I tell people, be yourself. You'll be surprised. There'll always be the attack, but you'll be surprised that more people will come around. Even if at the beginning they don't get it, be yourself. Hold yourself together. Keep going. They will come around. And even when they don't come around, you will still be happy because it's really about you. It's really about the impact you want to make. It's really about the lives you are touching positively. And it's really about living life authentically so that on your last day, you're going to be able to tell whatever God or source you believe in, I did it and I did it my way. I think that's very important for everybody.
I love it. You're giving people permission to show up. That is interesting how that is. Like when we don't conform to what others believe is like the norm and we show up as our true selves, it is giving other people permission to do the same thing. I
And
know.
they eventually do. They eventually let go of the fear of judgment, the fear of non-acceptance. They eventually let go and they feel happier. They feel more complete and they go on to even do bigger things. So I know that being your authentic self it's so easy. It's really easy. Like if you are you, you're not bothering to think about all the things you need to do to keep the mask on or to keep the performance on or keep acting. That frees you up to really do more with your life, with your time, and have more fun doing it. Because who we are is fundamentally fun. And if we can come from there, life becomes so much easier.
I agree with you 1,000%. I read a quote where they said something like, I don't remember how it went verbatim, but it was a quote somewhere along the lines of, I showed up as myself today because like Michelle Obama's already taken. Or it was something along those lines, you know?
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
Now, I know that you have seen conflict up close in law and in leadership. Why do you believe ego and not conflict itself is the real enemy?
So most times we are so focused on what's going on in our minds and all the things we think is right about our opinion and our requests or demands, we do not take that moment to go into the other person's perspective and try and see from their lenses, what are they seeing? What are they feeling? What do they want? What do they really want? And I think the moment we're able to do this, it requires quite a lot of emotional intelligence when people are able to stop themselves, that belief that they are right and everything they want is correct and the way they're going about it is right. When you take a moment to pause and look at things from the other person's perspective, you will be able to see things. You'll be able to have insights. You'll be able to lessen your anger, aggression, whatever it is you're feeling, and whatever offense you feel the other person has committed against you. You'll be able to twist it and even start seeing how you could do things better to help them not feel whatever it is they're feeling that is making them come at you from your perspective. So I think it's having that emotional depth to cross over to the other side that could help sell so many of the conflicts we see whittle away, like just easily, like people can shake hands on a lot of things that they fight about. If only they could look from the other person's perspective.
I love that, Sharon. I've got to ask about this. You were a presidential candidate?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about
That's one of the most profound things I've done. And because I want to be president of Nigeria, and when I came back, I did law school and all that. I started working with business, finances, entertainment, and all that. So I went to law school 2012 to 2015 or 16. So I did the UK one and then I went to do the Nigerian law school. And while I was in Nigeria, I just realized that there's so much that could be done differently and there's so many ways to help the people. And the most crucial place to start is from the leadership. We
Mm.
do not have the right types of leaders for Nigeria, but we have the right kind of people in Nigeria, from Nigeria, around the world who could turn things around. So I said, okay, the fastest way to do it is to go into the political setting and take hold of the mantle of leadership. So I set up my political party and I raised quite a lot of young Nigerians that I believed had the correct mindset. And we all went in there. Some of them racing for House of Reps, some of them racing for House of Assembly, Senate, governorship, and I raced for the presidency. And the thing is, I want to be president of Nigeria, and I've set the year 2047 for me to do it. So that was the first time that I was going to do the race, mostly because I felt, okay, it was time to add my voice to the pot. I didn't expect to win it. However, I knew that coming through was going to help many more young people to have that bravery, to have that confidence, to be able to come out and say, I want to help my country and I can do it from the political setting. And I'm throwing the hat in, I'm throwing myself into this. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it like full out. So that was important for me. It was important to make that statement so that other young Nigerians, even if they're not young, but they have something to add, they can come out and add it. And the experience was unbelievably challenging because, come on, I'd not even been a politician. I didn't have any clue what this was going to be
Mm.
like. And I had no idea that people do not even support politicians financially in Nigeria. Like when you come
Oh.
into politics, they automatically believe that you've been embezzling funds from the Commonwealth, and then they don't support you. They believe you've stolen so much money. Now you want to spend it to get power. So nobody gives you financial support and all that. So I had to like basically sell off everything I had to be able to race for office. And then I was facing so much resistance. Like they don't want women leaders. They
Oh.
say, who are you? Why would you think presidency of Nigeria was for you? I was less than 40. So they had just changed the law that allowed people who were less than 40 to race for the presidency. So there was just so much. I had this unnecessarily liberal view as far as the people were concerned. They liked the conservative views. They didn't want people who were open about homosexuality, who didn't think prostitution should be banned or prostitutes should be jailed. And, like a lot of things that I felt were all the things that made humanity unique and should be allowed to play out in each person's life as they choose. We're just too liberal for the average Nigerian. So there was so much attack. But I just kept going because I know what I would like to see my country be like. I know all the opportunities that I believe we can harness to make everybody's lives better. And I know that I can lead the people to a place where they do the work they're supposed to do for the people from a place of love. And I was determined to do this. Yes, I wasn't expecting that my very first race I would be president, but I knew that that race was the first step towards that role, and I was going to get it. And I already made a plan anyway for a 30-year plan to get it. And this was the first step. And then I'll keep taking those steps until I finally get there. So it was a very, very exciting, exhilarating, challenging, every emotion you can think of. I had it. But I haven't left this dream that I'm going to lead Nigeria. So I keep going back. I did the House of Representatives in 2023, and I'm looking to do the Senate in 2027. But this time I'm strategizing to make sure that I actually win it because
Nice.
there's so much they do in the system that kind of shuts the women down. There are some of the ladies who have come into office, like there's one, her name is Natasha Akpoti, and she's always getting attacked, sexually harassed and all that in the office of Senate. And I'm like, that's not okay. And she needs support. So I'm going in there to kind of give her some backing. And hopefully there'll be more, both men and women, ready to
Embrace.
embrace, like, women, we are here to help make the country better. And we have a right to this seat we have come in here to occupy. So I'm going in there by God's grace in 2027 to do more work in the political arena in Nigeria.
I love that. Yeah, she definitely could use your support. So let's talk a little bit about reinvention and resilience because you definitely have both because you've been a lawyer, you've been
Mhm,
a political leader and continuing
mhm.
to lead. You've been a business consultant and now you're an author, which is super exciting. What have you learned about reinvention and the courage it takes to start over that you could share with our listeners? I know it's a
Um,
lot. That
it's a lot. What I tell everyone is find your truth, know who you are, and always come from that authentic place because when you know who you are, it's easier to hear your internal guides. That's your intuition, that place where you don't really know, but you have that gut feeling that this is the next step. Trust it because it's never going to lead you astray. You may get through big challenges. You may have to face obstacles bigger than you have faced, but in every obstacle is the opportunity for growth. So once you have that in mind, and you're following all those gut feelings and you're seeing all the obstacles as more and more opportunities for you to learn and grow, you're never going to have it wrong. No matter where you end up, you're going to end up somewhere where you feel fulfilled and grateful because that's where you came from ab initio. So when you're coming from a place of fulfillment, gratitude, joy, it doesn't go wrong because wherever you
right.
land, you are going to see amazing things about wherever it is you land. Even when you didn't dream or see it or expect it, you're going to land where you're supposed to be. And you're going to know when you get there, this is where I was supposed to be. This is where I was coming to. I just didn't realize it or I didn't see how it was playing out. You have to just surrender to that knowing that all will be well. So I, my law, my coaching, my children, I didn't tell you I have 5 kids and I have a granddaughter and one more coming all the way. And
Wow.
I tell people I am I am juggling the job of a single mom, I'm juggling the job of a lawyer, I'm juggling the job of a coach, a speaker, an author and all that, but I still have time to play golf. I still have time to
Nice.
party. I was out all night. I partied till 7 a.m. this morning. I'm still on this podcast at 11 p.m. And I'm not tired. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not stressful. I'm happy. I do it all with ease because I just let things flow. Yes, you have to balance, you have to take steps, you have to do the effort. Like you say, happiness is free, but there is some little activities you need to do. You need to plan your time. You need to put things in perspective. You need to set priorities. You have to know what your heart is beating for right now. Then you can follow that, making sure that other things do not suffer. And it gets so easy when you're coming from your authentic place. You could literally do anything and have everything and feel comfortable, at ease, and with extra energy, despite being so busy and being so productive and being so, I don't know. I believe everybody can achieve this. Come from your authentic place, come from a place of alignment, and do your best to balance everything according to your desires. Ignore what everybody else is doing, how much money they have, how many houses, and whatever. That's not your business. Your business is what counts as success for you personally. If it is money, then it is money, but that's your choice. Then you can do the things you need to do to have all the money you want to have. And you have to know also there's no limit to how much money you can have if that's what you want. And from that mindset, go in and do the things you need to do, the things you are led to do in order to make sure you grow your money. And if it is children, forget whatever the rest of the world is doing. Focus on raising the best kids you can. I mean, I look around me, my son has the most amazing girlfriend, having the, like, she's the, like, next to me, the best mom any child can wish for after me.
I love that.
She's not interested in the flying, money making, problem solving, whatever it is that I do. That's like, oh yeah, good luck. I'm not interested. She's an amazing mom, and that's what she loves, and that's what she's doing. That's what she's really good at doing. Why not?
Yes.
Know who you are. Know what makes you tick. Focus on it. Allow. And you'll be very, very grateful that you did. And it doesn't matter how many things there are,
Mhm.
family, partnership, whatever. Put them all together, give them their own time, and have fun.
I love this conversation because here a lot of people are facing burnout and they feel tired and like, I'm done with this. And they're just ready to hang up their hats, you know? And so I love your energy and the share, you know, about especially when you talk about like if we just focus on where we are and focus on ourselves, because I think a lot of that, the burnout, some of that is trying to keep up with,
Society.
yes, like,
And it's not necessary. Not necessary at all, because you'll be shocked when you achieve that thing that all of them have, you find that it doesn't feel good. So what's the
mhm.
point? But when you focus on the one that matters to you, you discover yourself and you know that one that would make you feel, yeah, this is the life I want to live. Sometimes it's the most normal, everyday thing, but you're truly happy. Sometimes I see people, all they do is sing to animals, but they're doing it with so much joy, so much commitment and love, and they're making money doing that, and they're living good lives just singing to animals. Why don't you just discover that one that speaks to you and go
Right.
there? Stop waiting for somebody to prescribe the life you live to you. No, you don't need that. You have permission from the day you were born to design the life that is best suited to you and to
And
live it.
I think that that's a good point because I notice that sometimes people will see, oh, well, Shantae, she's doing this, or Eunice has like, she's doing this, this, and that. And then they feel a need to copy that or mimic it. And it's not, they don't have longevity in it, or it doesn't really like move in that same way because they're doing it because they see that you're doing it and you have success in it, and so then they're like, "Well, I wanna do that too," but then, like, it doesn't work out, and then they start to get discouraged, but I always try to let them know exactly what you're saying. It's not that you have to stay in your lane, like, as if that's not for everyone, but you definitely have to be tapped into your true self so you can know what is for you
Yeah.
for real, because then that's when you'll have, that success, and you don't have to mirror what everybody else. You don't have to
Else
copy
is doing.
someone else because you think that they're successful in it, and so that you have to do that thing too. Like, how is she able to do that? How is Eunice able to have success in that area, and that area? I gotta do exactly what she's doing, and at some point, it's like, it becomes ridiculous when you're copying everyone else. Copying, especially when it's very close, like, you know what I'm saying?
While I encourage people to learn from everyone, it is also extremely important that whatever you learn, you still bring it into who you are and only take the bits that support who you are to get to the destination you have chosen to go. It's the blind copying and pasting that leads to that burnout, that leads to that frustration, that leads to that dissatisfaction. But if you're looking, oh, Eunice is doing this, let me hear from her. How is she able to do this, do this, do this, and do that? And then you go in here and you hear it and you see it and you feel it and you take it and you now apply it to your own desired journey. Okay, now I want to be an astronaut, but I also want to dance and I also want to swim and I also want to play guitar. Those are your directions. Those are the places you want to go. But then you learned from Eunice that balance is key and priority is key. And it's important to balance in such a way that the things that are more important to you come first. And then as you're doing those ones, you can now add others and then add more. And then when anyone becomes too difficult, delete because it's not supposed to drain you of energy. The things you're doing that are impactful are also supposed to feed your energy. It's supposed to give you more inspiration. So it's a lot of work. It's all that you're seeing you do this, do this, do that, but it's supposed to still inspire you to do more. When it's draining you, you know you're not on the right path. You know you're misaligned and you need to change. You need to pivot. That's what the people need to do. Coming in to learn from Shante, from Eunice, and everybody else is extremely important because nobody knows it all. However, the lessons you take from everyone are designed for you to apply to your own unique purpose, to your own life, and then do the things you're doing in a way that feel most aligned for you. Blindly copy and paste, you're going to get burnt out.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Going back to politics, do you keep up with like the politics of the United States? Everywhere I go, I hear so much about it where some people are like just really feeling like our country here in the United States is kind of going like taking a direction that they're not happy with. And then some people have like the opposite. It's always going to be like that. How do you balance the politics with your everyday life when especially when, like you mentioned like how women are not accepted and things like that, like in Nigeria?
It's easy for me because I know people will always do the best they know to do with whatever tools and resources are available to them. So I'm able to keep my mind free from judgment and try and focus on the things I need to achieve for myself and the constituencies I want to serve. So the negativity, crazy as they are, intense as they are blocked out. I don't allow the negativity to impact my action, my peace of mind, and my decisions. When I'm making decisions, I'm just really focused on the impact I want to have and the smoothest journey I could create for that impact I want to have. And I just go with that. So when I see, especially in the United States, even everywhere you look, there's so much happening in the politics that it's not where you would like to see the world going right now. We're supposed to be having a world where we are one, where we are looking out for each other, where we are more supportive of one another, where we are less combative, where we are more loving, where we are peaceful. But then some of us come into leadership and we turn things around and make it almost impossible for peace to reign, for love to take control, for acceptance to flow. And I'm like, okay, focus on the good thing. Take your mind off those negativity and every day of your life, do something to make somebody else's life better and take it as your contribution. Now that things are so bad, this is your small contribution. Just make sure every day of your life, even if it's just a smile, smile at that person you don't know and hope that you make their day better and go home and thank God and clap for yourself that you did something good for that day. Focus on the things that are going well as much as possible and do the little you can do to make other people's lives better because it will pass. They always pass. Sometimes they come to power and they don't realize that time is ticking. And very soon you're going to get out and somebody else is going to come in and hopefully do better than you have done. Sometimes they forget it, but I never forget it. I know it's going to pass. Those people making those really bad decisions are gone so that hopefully much better people can come in and make better decisions that help humanity to be more loving, more accepting, and more successful overall. So that's how I do it. I really focus my mind on the things that are going well, and I try to ignore the negatives while I do the work I need to do to get my community, my constituency, and myself moving forward in the politics. And because of it, I make friends with everybody, even the opposition. I could be up against you in a particular role. I want to be House of Reps in the same constituency where you are racing. I'm going to beat you free and square. And you may even end up voting for me on election day because I'm going to approach it from the perspective of let the best person win. And what I know I have to give the people is love. And there are not many people who are ready to love so many people so completely. And so they know that they are loved and they are appreciated. And what they want, what they need to grow is also your interest. Not many politicians come from that space, but that's where I live. And because it's so easy for me, I know that as long as it is a free, fair, credible election, I'm going to win it. And coming from that place, I approach everything I do with ease. Whereas all other people are punching themselves and, fighting and making enmity. And, I don't let it come into my space. I focus on the things that are important and I keep myself as safe as possible from the bad energies. It helps me.
I love that. Protecting your energy. That's good stuff. Happiness is free. I know that you
It
have a copy
is.
of your book there. Can we see a copy of this one? I love it. Happiness is free. If someone wanted to find your book, where can they find the book?
Once you go to
Amazon.
type happiness is free, you'll see it. You can follow the link and buy. I do have the e-copy. I'm also selling on my website. So if you go to my website or follow my links, come to my social media on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I think once you type my name on Google, you're going to find me.
Right on.
Yeah.
For you, happiness is free. This book is available for everyone to purchase. You mentioned that you're a coach. Are you working with people in that capacity where if they wanted you to be their coach, they're able to reach out to you to have coaching services directly by you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching and women and men. These days, quite a lot of women come in and they want me to coach them because they feel really like my story resonates a lot with them and they are struggling with the roles, the role of mom, the role of wife and business women, professionals. And they really want to find that balance and they're looking like, okay, Eunice, you've done this. Help us, help me. So I come in there and quite amazingly, you find out it's actually quite easy. It's just reminding yourself of who you are. Remembering who you are is the primary thing. And I help them to gain this clarity, to get more authentic with themselves and find that alignment so they can live that life of freedom and joy and ease at home, in the office, with the businesses, with the relationships, everywhere. I love coaching these very, very highly successful men and women who just want to bring it together in a way that feels peaceful.
Mhm. I love that. I love it. You guys, you know that you have Coach Eunice here, who is also someone who is there's a lot of gifts that you have to offer people. So I absolutely love that. I love it.
Thank you. Biggest of all the gifts is that I live the life I preach. A lot of us coaches learn these things from training, but we don't really type them into our lives. It's just, you have the training and you can take people through the process and help them out with their issues, whatever. In my case, these are lived experiences. These are things I'm doing every day. So when I talk to my clients, I am practically giving them my life. Like, look at it. This is how I did it at my time. During your time, it's different. Your story is different. However, if you look at it from this angle and that angle, you may find that there are options that you haven't considered. And you can consider those options and then make commitments that are easy for you to follow.
I love it. And you did have a rough growing up in Nigeria and then going through living in the ghetto to have the mindset that you have. I think that is amazing. And to have had the success, you definitely have a roadmap, you
I
know?
do. And
Yeah.
it's an easy roadmap. Happiness come from a place of joy. And it's easy to come from a place of joy, especially when you can see so many things. I help you see all the things that are amazing about your life. And I also help you see how you can go from there to all the amazing things you still want to call in. I call them, all of them in, like you don't miss out on anything. And you do it with so much ease and flow. What's better than that?
Is there anything that we have not talked about that you want to share with our listeners?
For me, it's always about coming in from the heart, like open my heart, open my life, give it to you to read as a book. I
Yeah.
came in here to just talk and talk.
Yes,
All
yeah.
I can say, all I can add is being authentic is key to being successful in a way that feels good.
Mhm.
Because there are different levels of success. You can be successful, but frustrated and disillusioned and, not loving yourself, not liking your life, feeling sometimes even angry that you're successful because it doesn't feel good. But
Mhm.
if you're going to success from your authentic place, it will feel good. Everything you do, everything you see, everything you touch will feel aligned, will feel alive, and will lead to greater impact in your life and in the lives of everybody around you. So I always encourage people to trust their instinct that it's okay to be themselves.
I love it. She's giving you permission. I love that when you show up, you give other people permission to be themselves. And you said so many things that resonated with me and that I know resonates with our listeners who are come from a variety of backgrounds. I love your share and you guys definitely have to pick up this book. It is available now on Amazon and all of the information for Eunice is located in the show notes. You can click on the link to connect with Eunice. And there you go. You have your coach. For those of you who are not able to understand that happiness is free, she has a blueprint to help you understand how and why, and then can walk you through the steps to get there. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming and hanging out with me today,
Thank you so much, Shante. Thank
with you as well. And to let you know, there's an open invitation for you to come back again.
Amazing. Amazing. I'll definitely take the invite up sometime.
Right on.
Definitely. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed the conversation, and I hope that you guys find that there was value in the show and definitely share it with someone that needs to hear this episode. It was a powerful conversation. I love her share from her journey of overcoming hardship to stepping boldly into leadership and authorship. She's given us so many gems about resilience, being authentic, and the courage to design a life that's true to who we are. If today's episode really resonated with you, please head on over and leave us a review so that others will be able to find the podcast as well. As you know, this podcast is helpful. We have the best guests, amazing guests, and lots of beautiful authors. Be sure to grab her new book, Happiness is Free, but Not Effortless, and start putting your wisdom into practice in your own life. I want to thank Eunice again for joining me, and thank you, the listeners, for tuning in to another episode of Authentic Talks 2.0. Until next time, remember to live your truth, protect your peace, and always lead with authenticity. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm Shanta with Authentic Talks.